It's an Ace Attorney stream, so I gotta test this myself. Testing 1 2 1 2. Alright, let's get the bot on now. Alright. Shut up, computer. And
Oh, I missed.
there we go. Alright. We good. We good in the hood. Hey. Let's get this case finally finished. It's about damn time I finish this case. Driver, Javelin, Jackson! Oh, Mr. Natsume, there's a place for you. Look, Mr. Sorry, and now look, Mr. Jesus, Mr. Mikata, Squires. Now finally, as always, they made proof. Proof that I'm innocent. Proof that my day is innocent. Ah, good morning, my dear fellows. Jeez, where were you the last time? Ah, here are alarm shops! But here, check the activity. And Paul Foley's parasite. I thought the tea was innocent. Oh, Mr. Schultz, you came. How wonderful. Please, save you this derision. I know what you're all thinking. Good morning, he says. When it's very nearly time for luncheon. Your scorn is written clear across your faces. Nobody said or thought anything of the sort. The truth is, I was determined that today would be the day. As sleep seduced me last night, you saw it. Tomorrow, for once, I shall not oversleep. I'll rise early and be present in court to support my companion news. So spirited interpretation has been all is known, does it not? Oh, yes! I didn't begin to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep? I queried. Why time after time do they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It's so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. I mean, you're not wrong. Well, is it not a student insight into the matter? Oh, yes! Upon which realization, I attempted an experiment. I didn't sleep a week all night. What? Well, okay, I guess that explains things. The results. My first night, I was exhausted. I began to assailed by a fit of drowsiness. Shocking. And so, the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. Organized sleep is quite simply essential. You think? Yes, I think most of us probably knew that already. What others presuppose, I prove by experimentation. That, my dear fellows, is I simply heard. Ah yes, and one more thing. Do you remember this? That was the bottle that had the poison in it, I think. Ah! Yes, of course, it's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday. Oh, you didn't manage to. It's a laborious task, as the bottle was near empty, but such inconveniences do not hinder souls. I managed to confirm that it contains strychnites. Okay, it is the same poison. So I was right. Perhaps, though of course circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilt. I should leave the bottle in your care now, but licking the inside of the neck is not recommended. Okay. I'll be sure not to lick the neck. Can I have a word? Oh, who is this? Oh, hi. Grayson, how good of you to come.
Forget it. Excuse me.
Oh, goodbye. Wait a minute, Inspector. Oh, don't worry, he just went to go get his fries, that's all.
Don't want to make a nuisance of myself.
From the look in your face, I'd say it's someone else who you think is making a nuisance of himself. My dear Inspector, please speak freely. Pretend I'm not here.
Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me.
Here are the results, Inspector, of the investigation of Mr. Shakespeare's room.
Not yet. Should be long now, though. No, I'm here at something else. The dead convict, actually.
Uh-oh. Oh, you mean the man from this newspaper we discovered yesterday in Mr. Shakespeare's room? A man by the name of... Yes, Selden.
I went to the outdoors of the yard and dug out the files file. There's something in there that, well, that caught my eye.
Geez, that's a big file. Something caught your eye? What, Inspector, what? I need a drink, hold on.
I copied out the relevant parts for you, so you can read for yourselves.
Thank you. I hope I don't have to do his voice too often. I'm coming off of a brief illness on Monday, not COVID related, and my voice has not been the same ever since. I've been taking stream off to recover. These documents include the details that were in the newspaper's cutting when we found include details that we found in the newspaper cutting when we found in Mr. Shakespeare's room. I rearranged everything in the court records so we don't have duplicate information. Okay, good. Why are you giving us a copy of this important file, though?
Yeah, you're the ones who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? I'm just making sure things get handled in the proper fashion.
Oh, Scotland Yard's workings are so wonderful. Indeed, my dear fellows, the inspector here is a shining diamond in its crown. Shining diamond in the rough, maybe?
Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all.
He feels guilty, that's it. Ain't it? Bailiff of the council and defendant and court proceedings are about to resume. Make your way into the courtroom at once. Why is the danger music here? Oh, she's Evelyn. I'll be listening with interest from the public gallery. No nodding off at all, certainly not. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. He's gonna be snoring his head off, isn't he? I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Mustache in floods of tears personally, so best of luck to you. Yes, Mr. Natsume. It's time, isn't it? Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shakespeare. This is going to be the final battle. Of this case, you mean? Because it's not gonna... We're only in case 2. I won't really have saved Soseki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. It's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Ryunosuke. You have to. Here we are again. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again now. Before the recess, we heard a most startling accusation from the defense. Namely, that the victim of the case we heard here only a few days ago is the true perpetrator of this incident. Reckless, rash, prejudiced charge of wrongdoing, in my opinion, my lord. However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from dubious eastern shores. Thank you for that backhanded consideration. Excuse me. A rather cold assessment from the honorable British prosecutor, I must say. Sir Lord Verzeeks, is the new witness present and ready to take the stand? Ready and waiting in the witnesses' antechamber, my lord. Very well. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in. Oh, we got both of them on the stand? Oh, great. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court, please.
William Shakespeare, my liege. For mine occupation, I can say only that I be a tragic victim to be pitied.
Currently unemployed, in other words.
I'm Alvin Creed, a fledgling artist.
Oh no. Wait, why'd she bring her awning and canvas into the courtroom?
Not a fledgling, William. A hopeless failure who's too weak-spirited to admit she has no talent, I suppose.
Also currently unemployed, in other words. What a quartery. Mr. Shakespeare.
My lord, I am thy humble servant.
I'm afraid that you are no longer merely the victim in this affair. The possibility has been raised that you are in fact the assailant, intent on taking the life of your fellow lodger. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you.
For naught else, my lord.
And Miss Green,
Yes.
you're aware of the reason you have been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume?
Yes, the officer did explain.
What?
He said it twice. This ridiculous buffoon.
And, do you accept the charge, Miss Green?
I don't know anything about any poisoning. And I don't know anything about this man. Come, lady. I die to live. Verily, I did not know thy prickly pea-pigmented personage.
Very well. Let's proceed with the matter at hand. I apologize if I take a few breaks here and there. My voice isn't what it was. Jeez, man. That being to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair.
So very strange. Very strange indeed. Why would you suspect me? Barely even going to the East End anyway. So happens I passed by the neighborhood 6 days ago. That's all.
Sorry.
The other night, this man was poisoned. I was still in hospital, fighting for my life.
Yes, I've been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside the Garrett household. An incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days.
It was struck me in the middle of my back by knife. To my fault of my own, and I am under suspicion. But other relevant things might have been suspected from. That very disturbing.
Your energies may be best spent worrying about that random night. Your energies may be better spent worrying about random knife attacks. I feel, Miss Green. At this point in time, all that appears to connect you with Mr. Shakespeare's lodging is the Briar Road incident 6 days ago. That's why we would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened.
Oh, no! The incident 6 days ago. You want me to right after that awful accident?
Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we'll be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shakespeare.
But what happened 6 days ago has nothing to do with me being poisoned.
Let us proceed then. The witnesses will present their formal testimony to the court on the subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road the evening of the 17th of February. So we're going all the way back to case 3 of adventures. Okay. Just give me a second. I actually didn't bring much water with me. I might have to refill here soon, but alright.
It was 6 days ago. At around 5 a.m. I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, it just happened to be outside the house with a man. In this case, had the lodgings.
It was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest. I bespoke my supper.
It was the first time I'd been in the area. I had a little matter to attend to that all. Anyway, I was admitted to the hospital, so I knew nothing about all of this business.
Yes, the second incident inside a week at what I believe to be aptly described as the haunted lodgings. One can only presume that is a most unfortunate coincidence. Meanwhile, you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shakespeare.
Just the hurling one when I did Royker that I learned that the dire events. They wanted to burst into the office as I make on the floor top of mine.
Sasuke-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. Suspected there's nothing connecting these two witnesses of happenstance. It's true, it does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance. I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here. I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it. Counsel, you may now cross-examine these two witnesses if you wish. Yes, my lord. Alright. Once again, I'll try not to press too much to save my voice in a strain. Plus, I want to get through this quickly. It was something that piqued my interest, though. This statement.
Hold it!
What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate.
It does nothing really. It's not worth mentioning.
If you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital.
Ah!
It was related to the card you were holding. And we go back to this. The rat is still alive. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross.
So what does that matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan.
Apparently you think it does.
Excuse me.
Mr. Shakespeare, do you have something to share with the court?
To be or not to be? That is the question.
Okay, fine. Quote Hamlet, why don't you?
Pray forgive me. The great bride's words springeth from within me with ne'er a thought.
Don't tell me it's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps?
Well, nice, it was nothing at all.
Presumably you know the name, though. Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodged in the same house.
It was so sadly nigh. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me.
So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours. Miss Green.
Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong?
The card that was mentioned before, containing the note. Do you have it upon your person?
I do, yes. But I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really.
Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please. Here's where we finally connect the envelope to the ripped piece of paper that we found in the room. Of course, that's what links Mr. Shakespeare and Miss Green. It's Duncan Ross. Now, continue with your testimony, please, Miss Green. Okay, I know exactly what I need to do here. Wait, hold on. Do I need to examine this, though? Okay, I'll examine this. Whenever I have this torn out piece of envelope. Yes, of course. It was in Mr. Shakespeare's room. For some reason, it suddenly started to bother me. The way it's been ripped. I feel sure I've seen the same pattern somewhere before. Yeah, here we go. I wonder if it could be. If it could be. Yeah. I wonder if it could be this you're thinking of. The envelope in which Miss Green's card came. Yes, that's it. Try putting them together now. Let's see. Kaboom! They go together perfectly. And the envelope clearly belongs with the card. Sweet. Oh, and I also WJ's the card we just got. Alright, well, I guess while I'm in here, I might as well look at the rest of this. Bottom poison. I can look at the bottom, I guess. So this is the poison we've been hearing so much about. Strike 9. There are a few remnants on the bottom here. Look. You must be tempted to try it. Of course not. As long as we don't lose this trial. You idiot. No! Even if we lose a trial. No, we mustn't lose a trial in the first place, Mr. Naruto. Make your mind up, Susato said. I actually, like, see inside. Oh, well, let me move this out of the way first. No, I can kind of see inside, but I don't see, like, anything. No, worthy. Okay, the capital offense. Hold on. Offender's file, that's what it's called. Investigative findings related to Selden. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder. Died of natural causes whilst in prison. Summons is only by his cellmate. 1,000 pounds worth of loot he stole remains unrecovered. Just a strange way to prison after the death of the convicted. Oh, I think we've already seen that. I think that was the thing from before. Anything besides this envelope? No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like I could have examined either the envelope or the thing. Okay, well now. Alright. You do nothing. You know what?
Hold it!
Let's press this. Yes, you didn't regain consciousness until the day after the trial, did you? In the early hours?
Exactly. So how could I have nothing to do with this? And yet you started hauling me here to court like this. Honestly.
So at the time of the poisoning, the witness was unconscious in her hospital bed. Could there be a more airtight alibi, I ask you? Yeah, this is what I was concerned about. Her alibi is really good.
And yet in spite of that, you claim that I was the culprit.
Well,
But you certainly haven't produced any evidence to support your wild claim, have you? Not at all.
There you have it. The good lady has yet to see evidence, my little Japanese friend. I'm working on it. Counsel, I will point out here that the jury's next decision will be final. We're really up against the wall here. Okay, I think from what the judge is saying, I think we're not getting another thing with the jury. It's just me versus Miss Green. And I guess Shakespeare. Oh, Mr. Naruto, you pursued Mr. Shakespeare wonderfully there. Worked out well, hasn't it? We have a new clue at last. Alright, now I need to pull off a really insightful objection somewhere. Well, as you managed to expose this promising new angle, I wonder if you should perhaps try to develop that. I guess, of course, we already did that, though. And yellow objections isn't necessarily the best way to do that, I suppose. Huh, wait a minute. Oh no, no, they're talking about looking at the evidence. So I do need to present it somewhere. Well, words make sense. I think I'm gonna do it here because your letter. We found this scrap of paper inside the crime scene.
Objection.
No? Okay. Wrong statement. Fine. Last statement was contradicted in a number of ways. I think you're fine. In a number of ways, you say. In a number of ways, that's gonna get me shot in the back. Or stabbed in the back, rather. That's right, my lord number. It's to serve you well to concentrate your efforts on one contradiction at a time. I better miss that. No, okay, actually, that was pretty funny. Let's see. I'm sure it's the letter I need to present. Envelope or the... Oh, actually... Yeah, no, just examining that would just bring me to the letter. But no, I think, like, we need to, I don't think, does it matter if I present the envelope or the scrap of paper? Coincidentally, you know what, I think this is the statement I have to do it on.
Objection.
No? Okay, fine. This happens, blah, 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 undeniably. It's... Okay, I might need to press a little further. I've heard this one, I'm pretty sure. Let me also just save here. Because I don't want to lose any more health. Alright, yeah, let's just press this. What are you doing there that day, though? What do you mean? The art school you attend, what's it called?
Ah, yes! It's the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts.
Going to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road.
Which is up 10 stops away from the scene of the underground.
I believe you mentioned before that you also live on Brixton Road, is that right? So why then would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of the East End?
Well, it's because, oh yes, of course! I thought that'd make a nice picture.
The witness is a student of art. City-dwelling artists can't all paint grand urban vistas.
That's right. I happen to like the crumbling look at that put it on. Perhaps quaint would have been a less grating term.
The point is, she's definitely hiding something.
Yes, it seems that she's not going to be forthcoming with the truth.
She's trying to hide why she was there that evening. Must mean there's a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key to this. And you, Mr. Shakespeare, on the evening of the incident 6 days ago. So that's the statement that they are trying to pull me towards. Tell the court what you exactly were doing.
It would be my pleasure, sire.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So it is this statement. But it's not the letter. It's not the torn off piece of envelope, at least. Why would you go over there? Well, what if I tried the card?
Objection.
No, okay. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna reload that save. Cause like it's the same logic. I don't want to lose that piece of health for nothing. All right. Anything in the crime scene from no. That has nothing to do with this. Hmm. What if happened that? What if I present this? Because this has the picture of her. This has the picture of him. I forget. I'm forgetting his name. Damn it. Crap. I don't. I can't go to profiles here. I can't go see his name. I'm gonna try this.
Objection.
No. Okay. Well, I guess I could also here. I can look at just to remember his name, Duncan Ross. There we go. Blah 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 blah. Actually, load the save because I don't want to lose his health. Well, I'm not denying this. Well, what is this? Oh yeah, it's the book, the receipt. And yeah, the streets he's talking about is nowhere near that. Is there something? Six counts of suspected murder. This estimated 1,000 pounds worth of loot still remains unrecovered. So, is money? Are we gonna be talking about money? You know, I'm at a loss of what to do, so I'll just press the rest of these. I'm well acquainted with the case. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It was awful. I still can't believe I was unconscious for so long. I woke up to find that the case had been solved and the cop was arrested.
Yes, the incident has been resolved already. The culprit was completely accidental. Don't forget about that. Poor Miss Garrett or Mrs. Garrett. Perhaps it would help you to consider it a bad dream that ended with your awakening and should now be forgotten.
Yes, I suppose so. Thank you.
But before you put it completely behind you, Miss Green, I need you to remember the details one last time. Let's totally recall exactly what happened that day for us to arrive at the truth about this new case.
The trouble is, there's nothing to tell really. I was just walking on the pavement.
And back to the statement.
Hold it.
This is the last one I haven't checked. What's happening, you say? Which one?
Towards the slug salad the Terry through on the east end.
And a little unexpected, I feel. Huh? What do you mean, Lord Von Zeeks? The slug and salad offers unusually fine dining, for the locality at least. Not an establishment you'd expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room. Oh!
It's true. The menu lists premium crusted bread and glass of water, different levels of cloudiness.
What? You can get different levels of cloudiness in the water? Oh, that sounds so strange. I would have expected grub scrubber in the local vicinity to be more appropriate for your means. Watery soup and mushy peas. Or rather, soupy water and pea like mush. Oh, okay. Oh, equally appetizing. I just wanted to try some water in a pod for once. What's wrong with that? How different can water really be? Perhaps there's a more plausible explanation. Well, I'm glad I did this now because now I've got a theory. A specific reason why I did go to that particular establishment. Agreed. The fact that on that day of all days, he dined at a place he wouldn't normally. It does stand out. Mr. Shakespeare's own actions on the day of the incident 6 days ago were slightly suspicious. Wonder if we have some evidence that can explain those actions. Ooh, wait a minute. Huh. Because what I'm thinking of is... Where is it? This. The 1,000 pounds worth of loot. Like, maybe... Did he discover that? Yeah, I'm gonna try this. Mr. Shakespeare.
Yes, sire.
On that day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize, for a very particular reason?
I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if that has some purpose, beast!
Very well, I present the court with evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day. Namely, oh wait, had to be there. So does that rule out the... Yeah, I don't think it's the money. I don't think it's the money. The way this is worded, and because he's got a ripped off piece of envelope in his room, I think it's Miss Green's card.
Take that!
There we go. Okay, good. I believe this card reveals the answer. Good lord, Miss Green's card, you mean? That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shakespeare, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Huh. I thought that note was for her, but this makes a lot of sense. Ah! Personally, I find it hard to believe there's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shakespeare?
Well... Excuse me? Can I say something?
Yes, Miss Green?
The card was delivered to me. I don't have anything to do with this side, man, does it?
Well, you think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely...
My lord, may I?
May you what, Miss Green?
I'd like to make something very clear about that card.
Very well, then you may amend your testimony to include details about the peculiar note.
This note was delivered to me at my address. It has nothing to do with the odd man next to me here.
Okay, I think now.
Objection!
There we go. The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you found yourself in the hospital.
Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that's happened to me.
Yes, it is terrible. If that's all true, that is.
What do you mean?
Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope.
Is it?
And it so happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received.
Well, why didn't I find that?
In Mr. Shakespeare's room.
Ah, in my room.
Mr. Shakespeare, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere?
Well,
Your actions that afternoon follow the instructions in the note to this letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. And that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shakespeare. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green.
what did I do?
As this torn off end of an envelope proves, the note was originally in Mr. Shakespeare's room. Now, how is it that came to be in your possession?
I had the first idea. It's a fledgling artist after all.
There's only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shakespeare's room and stole it.
He did what? Sorry, that was what you broke. I mean, right, in my room. What on earth do you want with me?
Oh, tensions are brewing. I'm gonna get a drink. I am actually out of water, so I will be right back just so I can get a refill. Alright, I am back. Alright. Back with a fresh glass of water. It would seem that both witnesses need to testify again. Miss Green.
Yes.
Crap. Geez, well, at least I've got plugs all over the place here. Okay. Unplug that, because I don't need that. That's already fully charged anyways. Plug it in here. And plug it into the PlayStation. There we go. Well, so you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you've endured in the recent events. Anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind.
Yes, I know.
Did you just drop her brush? Very well then, witnesses. You will give formal testimony again now. On the subject of this curious Jeez, man. Of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received.
I did remember now. It was like a pre-adventure. The pre-adventure. The note was delivered to me. On the night right there, and I did tarry along out the slug and Saturday, yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening, I shared the company of this Japanese fellow. I did see the note that had vanished. I don't know what you mean. You mean I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I can put out the video here. It has the torn off piece of the envelope. I don't know anything about it.
Jeez. I kind of spoke that one out of line. I had to cough mute. Jeez. Whew. Ah, man. I need to give myself a break here. Try not to overdo myself. You now claim to have received this letter, do you, Mr. Shakespeare?
Faith is so, my lord. And I would swear to have set it upon the table in my humble lodgings. Yet, tis clear to me now that since I returned from the Tower of the Night, I have not laid eyes upon it.
Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear that your testimony was
A lie. Is that what you think? Unfair of you to think that's not one line.
I beg your pardon?
I'm just a fledgling artist, as they said. A fledgling artist don't lie. That note was delivered to me at my address. Besides, we all know who the liar around here is.
If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was, without question, found in Mr. Shakespeare's room.
I don't see why I should explain.
Sorry?
I'm a fledgling artist. My job appears to tell you what happened, that's all. It's your job to give the explanation and the proofs. You're the fledgling lawyer.
The fledgling will do his best. Evidently, my learned friend's correct examination is our only hope of learning the truth. Well, counsel? I'm ready, my lord. Very well, then. The defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of witnesses.
Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shakespeare's room. There can be no question of that. That's how she acquired the note.
Yes, two facts are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all this. And it's not a pretty one. Alright. Once again, probably just gonna get my voice to break, not present on much. I'll present what I deem necessary and then press more on from there. I think this is worth noting.
Hold it.
When exactly did you notice that it got missing? Such ideas thoughts never occupy my mind. I'm busy with greater ideas.
In other words, you didn't notice.
Several days passed between your outing to the tavern and Mr. Natsume's visit to your room. Yes, it would appear that the note disappeared sometime in that interval. Such ideas thoughts never occupy my mind. I'm busy with greater ideas. Did you just say that? You know, during that time, Miss Green was comatose in the hospital, was she not? Clearly, then she could not have been stealing things from Mr. Shakespeare's room.
Yes! Yes, of course! It all started a misunderstanding. That's all some sort of misunderstanding, isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor?
You have so far failed to give a satisfactory explanation as to how you came by the note. I'm not here to advocate for your defense, madam. I won't tolerate inconsistencies in your story. You would do well to remember that.
How dare me!
What's Lord Van Zeek's getting at? He doesn't like inconsistencies. He's a good prosecutor in that regard. He doesn't like the witnesses telling lies on the stand.
Hold it.
It seems that this note was actually delivered to Mr. Shakespeare about 1 week ago.
Oh, does it?
For some reason, it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened except for you breaking into Mr. Shakespeare's lodging.
Objection.
Oh, well, this is the first objection of this stream.
For what reason would the witness have done that?
Ah, I
I won't deny that Miss Green's position of the note would appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven in some other way, any further pursuit of this note is meaningless.
Miss Green can only have come back to be in possession of the note by stealing from Mr. Shakespeare's room. And yet, there's no obvious reason why she would have done such a thing. If there was some other reason she broke into his lodgings, though. Yes, we should pursue that and see Mr. Naruto. We're close now. I can feel it. We're so close to a breakthrough. They didn't even scroll over to him.
Hold it.
So you don't want to tell the court the truth about the letter, is that it? I like how it just disappeared. The arrow just magically disappeared.
Reflecting on it, I just ideally on introverted case like this.
Introverted. Fie! This vision doth readily cast aspersions about my nature. Yet my angel, a seraph, birds do harmonize with my song. The wind doth frolic in my wind. On my wing, I mean. Or pity, wherefore doth thou accuse once a pure of heart, tempered woman?
Pair of heart? I don't think so. You're a flesh like me can see here. There's a failure.
Oh, sick burn.
Tragedy, thou shalt not know thy true heart of an artist until thine instruction ere after my death. Oh, the days of the years at last enter 90. Thou must wait so long and in vain. Mr. Hanover, interject with some clever remark. This is your chance to shine.
I'm no Shakespearean actor, Mr. Sato. As far as I can tell, the only thing that's going on to resolve this argument
It's evidence. Yes.
You have to excuse me. Jeez. Jeez, man. It's clear that Miss Green did in fact break into Mr. Shakespeare's room, isn't it? That's where she found this letter. Yes, two more or less foregone conclusions that led me to one terrifying conclusion. Terrifying? Yes, I'm afraid to say. But the outcome of this cross-examination may well change how we look at this case completely. What reason would she have? Stuck into the man's room. Is there a reason why she would sneak in? It's gotta be tied to Duncan Ross. Unless she wanted the money? Like, I've got a feeling that money is, like, hidden somewhere in his room. And, like, Duncan Ross knew where it was. That's the only way I can see this going, the way this is going. I don't want this to be a case about money. Well, on this statement, at least I think it was the statement. This is the statement where Von Zeeks commented about false testimony. This is definitely Duncan Ross. I don't think we have any evidence to prove yet that the money might have been hid in Shakespeare's room or in the lodgings. Yeah, I might have to go back here.
Hold it!
And can you shed any light on the content of the notes at all? Nay, say, 'tis as strange to me as thy fine tongue. With an eye just gaze at mine own, verily, 'tis impenetrable. Ah, man. Mr. Duncan Ross had lodging in the same household as you. In fact, he was your neighbor. So surely you knew him, didn't you? You can tell I'm struggling. Alack, the choice is betwixt. I knew him, and I knew him not. It is with foreboding that I'd be forced to declare we were some by small measure acquainted. Despite your claims, though, you followed the notes instructions and went to the slug and salad. Presumably that was nothing to do with your knowledge of literature. Maybe not rapid, I mean, save for the little curiosity.
That is true. I was compelled by my own eager heart to break me, take myself to the tavern. Yet in the end, my curiosity was not satiated.
Nobody came, huh? Even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared?
Well, yes, I. Tis thou sayest.
Really? You paused for a moment before you answered.
When thou asked whether nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall.
Really? Do you mean to tell the court that somebody did appear after all?
I was not alone that night. That's the sluggish side, my lord. No, 'tis returning to me now. I did treat my life to almost clear water. Mine innards to the premium custard bread. All around me, danced them great many companions.
What do you mean?
Flies, sir, flies!
Jeez, man. Good lord.
In the name of Bastille, what would they? Fairies perchance from the midst of a nice dream come to taunt me.
I think they were just flies.
I can't help thinking that the flies ought to choose something more wholesome to buzz around. Is that wrong of me?
Gross, man. So that was irrelevant. I thought I was onto something there. What do you have to say about this again? Oh, this is a statement where he was talking about her. But he was talking to her, not him. I feel like what I need to do is present something on one of her statements. What? Well, I found the container for the poison. Oh, well, he used that to, like, blow into the thing. That's Power saying that he got poisoned somehow. Yeah, that's right. We have Strike 9 in here. Why would you? I'm gonna try it.
Objection.
Yeah. Holy crap, that is it. Yesterday at the hospital, we saw you with this bottle. And though the contents spilled during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained. Ah! According to the defendant's independent analysis, Mr. Sholmes' chemistry set, the liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as Strike 9. What? Strike 9? The very same poison that afflicted Mr. Shakespeare. Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings. For one reason, and one reason alone. To cover the end of the pipe that feeds the gas lamp in Mr. Shakespeare's room with poison. Can this be?
You broke into my room.
It may seem incredible to the court, but from the remaining clues, there is only one logical conclusion that we can reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shakespeare's life with poison was you, Miss Olive Green.
Oh dear, oh dear! Oh, dearie! Dearie!
Oh, jeez! Upskirt shot! Order, order! Counsel, are you seriously suggesting this woman put poison at the end of the gas pipe with intent to kill? Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts. But Miss Green did indeed set this odious trap 6 days ago, and the victim had put his mouth to the pipe that very evening as expected. Attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely. Well, that's a very good point.
Perhaps not, my lord.
I beg your pardon?
There was a significant police presence in the area that evening on account of the incident on Briar Road.
Oh, he's coming to save us.
Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of the ongoing inquiry. A circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at the time.
So the entire time we were investigating that entire building, there was a poisoned lamp for the entire duration of that whole thing. That's crazy. Lord Van Zeeks.
And of course, the following morning, there was more activity at Mr. Shakespeare's address.
More activity? Ah, yes. You mean his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder.
That's right. And as the defense has already proposed, Mr. Shakespeare was meddling with a gas pipe for a very sinister reason himself. To cause a gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant.
But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police. In the circumstances, Mr. Shakespeare had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe.
His intended victim being in a prison cell. With the need to tamper with the gas removed, the poison on the pipe lay dormant.
And then, 3 days ago now, the situation changed again.
Right, Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end. The trial in which the man stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back, but was duly acquitted. That resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. And that very night, his gas stove mysteriously went out. Mr. Shakespeare was mysteriously poisoned. In conclusion, the poison that was present on the mouth of the gas pipe had been put there in the victim's room some 4 days earlier.
Betty!
With that new understanding, it becomes clear that this letter was all part of the plan. What plan? The court will recall that the note gave instructions to visit the Slug and Salad at 5 o'clock. How am I going to be calling it the Salt and Salad for the past, like, couple tries? If so, I apologize. The Slug and Salad at 5 o'clock. And the recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for those instructions are all clear.
To ensure that the lodger would not be at home at this stated time.
To make sure I wasn't home.
Exactly. While you're out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed.
You mean to say that the letter...
It was written by Miss Green, yes. In order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. Just after she smeared poison all over the mouth of the gas pipe in your room. Order! Order! What do you have to say for yourself, witness? Transformation time?
Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me?
Miss Green's motive should be obvious. Yeah, now we're going back to motive. It's all tied up with someone whose name we've heard several times already during the course of this trial.
So, that's what's behind all this.
You will show your apparent understanding with the court, please, counsel. Which person is behind the woman's motive for the attack on the victim's life?
Take that!
Duncan Ross. That's right. Where the defendant, Mr. Natsume, took up residence in the lodgings at Mr. Garrett's. Somebody else was renting the room, Mr. Duncan Ross.
I knew I'd heard the name somewhere else. It was all over the papers a month ago, when the man died in strange circumstances at the haunted lodgings.
That does ring a bell. Ah! Of course, yes, I remember now. The young man they claim was strangled by the convict's curse or some such. Sadly, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind. Nor was it an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shakespeare blowing into the gas pipe and causing gas to leak into the room. Oh. Was it Shakespeare, though? I thought that the... Oh, I think this is a misunderstanding, because I think that convicted killer was the... I think that convicted killer was the guy that was in that room. Excuse me. And that she was trying to kill that guy, unbeknownst to her that he was already arrested and dead, and that Mr. Shakespeare took over. It was murder, plain and simple.
Well, what do you know? The world is so unfair. Curses, killings, deaths. That's all the people care about. But an interesting story. They want to know. It doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved.
Oh, here we go.
Is once the report. This 1 month later, once the stories like this appear, everyone's talking about him. You mean your Duncan was...
Mr. Ross was Miss Green's fiance.
Fiance?
You may not have known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shakespeare. But she's known exactly who you are all along. Because you're her sworn enemy. The murderer who took the life of the man she was to marry.
Maddie!
Miss Green, is it not the case that in order to exact revenge on Mr. Shakespeare, you smeared poison all over the end of the guy's pipe? Okay, so in that pose, she hasn't dropped her brush. She's just holding it in her hand and looks dejected. This is all quite extraordinary. Am I correct in my understanding that you now accuse both parties, counsel? Each on different counts of murder? Wow, that's where we're going here. Yes, my lord, that's correct. Well, technically, Miss Olive didn't actually murder anyone because he's standing right in the courtroom. But she's gonna be put on trial for attempted murder, and if all things are going to go according to plan, then Shakespeare is gonna be actually on trial for murder.
Objection!
Oh, jeez.
Inhaling so deeply, it appears that my fledgling learned friend is taken in a lungful of dubious gas that's causing his judgment to be clouded.
What?
Why would Mr. Shakespeare have wanted to kill these lodges, as you say? You have completely failed to provide a motive to substantiate your accusation against the man.
Yeah, here we go. We're gonna start doing taking care of this motive business.
Yes, that's right, Mr. Reaper, my liege. I have been slighted. This lies, us lies, I deny evidence. Errant. Don't forgive me, Mr. Hardastar. But I can't attend to admit to anything either.
Miss Green.
I'm sure you think I'm being very rude, but I am not going to be sent to the gallery to the likes of this scoundrel.
Oh, jeez.
Objection.
But you broke into the man's room. If you didn't do it to smear poison on the pipe, what was your reason?
I thought I'd have a look around, that's her.
That's a terrible lie. Sorry.
You're right, I suspected him. So I thought perhaps I might find some evidence on something else with him. Evidence that it was him who took Duncan's life.
Of violence or villainy or tyranny or brutality of women. But in any case, where I entered my room, I turned the key in the lock.
That whole place is falling apart. The locks on the doors are no different. Duncan shut me once, had to unlock the door with some tips and a piece of wire.
Oh, so she knew how to pick the lock. Oh, openness or tyranny or profanity of woman.
We will consider your trespassing on some future occasion, but for now, tell the court what you found, what evidence your search revealed.
Well, I spotted the note I sent lying on the floor. When I went to pick it up, I noticed something. One of the floor doors was loose, and underneath it, I discovered a secret hiding place.
Oh, wait, he didn't know about that? Yes, we also discovered that hiding place.
Inside, we found a newspaper clip cutting, a photograph, and an empty tin box.
Oh gosh, I forgot about the tin box. What does that have to do with this?
Ah, yes, well, the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty.
Crap. What? There was something in it?
Yes. This had the nice key.
A key. What are you doing with that? Why are you just now noticing? What the?
Every ounce of color is drained from his face. Give it here! Give it to me now! It's mine! I inherited it!
No.
What was that, witness? What did you say? You inherited it?
No!
What's all this about? He inherited that key?
It was obviously important to you, since you'd gone to such lengths to hide it, so I took it. I don't know what it's for, but you took something precious from me, so I took something precious from you! So that means you can't open something now. I don't care! Give it back this minute! Give it to me!
Jeez, I need a drink after all this yelling. Calm yourself, witness. Mr. Shakespeare has tried, and in one case succeeded, to take the life of 2 lodgers now. Yes, his motive for doing so is the key to everything that's happened. It's true that there appears to be no motive to support the accusation against Mr. Shakespeare, at first. Considering everything we now know, I think there is actually something that could explain it.
What?
Slap. I need to recall every piece of evidence at our disposal, everything we've seen and heard. Because I'm sure that I just caught a glimpse of the link that runs through all these events. In that case, counsel, I must demand that you present evidence to the court in support of your claim. What is it that you say can explain the motivation for Mr. Shakespeare's alleged crimes? Hold on, let me just see here. Oh no, it has nothing to do with it because he Because he melted the coins and dripped them out that way. But yeah, that has nothing to do with it. That lock is for the gas people. Is there something that looks like a lock in here besides the gas pipe, obviously? Huh. Oh, it is gonna go. It is gonna talk about the money, isn't it? I'm gonna try it.
Take that!
That's an official police report, isn't it not?
The Selden file? How did you get a hold of that?
So the. Oh, geez, he's mad. The now sadly deceased Mr. Ross and the defendant Mr. Natsume have only one thing linking them: the fact that they had lodgings in the same room. Well, yes, we know this certainly.
The room was formerly occupied by Selden. Until, that is, he was arrested by Scotland Yard for his involvement in multiple burglaries.
I see. And it so happens that the convict Selden left behind one very substantial mystery when he died.
That's some 1,000 pounds worth of loot that he stole, which is yet remains to be found.
Ah, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. It's written in his file here.
1,000 pounds lost en route to Hill. That was how the paper summed it up.
And it seems that one particular fellow inmate was with the convict in his final moments. It's not hard to imagine Selden entrusting that inmate with his most closely guarded secret. The location of the stolen loot. And perhaps the key to unlock whatever container the valuables were in. You know what I mean? This key is... Mr. Shakespeare, it was you, wasn't it? You were at the capital offender's side when he died, would you not? What are you talking about? 'Tis a false charge, I tell you, a false charge!
The name of the inmate who was with Selden at his time, at his death, isn't noted in this file. But a simple telegram to the prison where he died will quickly tell us how false the charge really is.
But even if it's true, why would the man be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant of the convict's lodgings? There's only one explanation of that, for my lord. It was on that very room that Selden had his loot.
So it all comes out.
Yes, and having established that, all Mr. Shakespeare's subsequent actions start to make perfect sense.
When he was let out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediately from Mr. Garrett's lodgings in the hopes of renting Selden's own home. However, the retired army man was unable to offer him the accommodation of his choice.
Because Selden's own room had already been lent to somebody else, Mr. Duncan Ross.
Which is why Mr. Shakespeare subsequently devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupant of the room. And when he was successful, he presumably intended to inquire about switching into the newly vacant room.
However, a certain jittery someone had beaten him to it. This is Sasaki Natsume, the defendant of this case, no less. So you decided to use the ploy with the gas again, didn't you, Mr. Shakespeare? This time to oust Mr. Natsume. All for one simple and avaricious reason. To get your hands on 1,000 pounds of loot left behind by the dead convict. You... Ah! Looks like I'm gonna snap it before they stretch my neck. Me neck. Listen. Oh, this is the guy.
Listen, I want you to have me loot. Anything that stopped the cops from getting them inside. It's in another room where I was lodging when they got me. Here. This is the key to it. Take it. I will stay one step ahead and meet. CNL, I guess. Shakespeare.
It's mine. What did you just say? It's mine. That loot is mine. Oh! Mr. Shakespeare. It's all lies. I don't accept any of it. Why should I? I don't know. You don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed the fellow. First, I'm the victim here, remember? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? If I don't admit it, there's nothing you can do. You can't arrest me for the time being. Anyway, baby, you can't arrest a victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? It's so close. I just need to fear my arms. I swore to myself that I'd get my hands on it. And I can almost taste it. Boy, crime fighting really makes me hungry, and this popsicle hits the spot. You really think I just give up? There's no question in my mind now. This man is guilty through and through. But he seems so utterly intoxicated by the idea of the loot. I'm afraid that however hard you press him, he'll never admit to what he's done in this scenario. There's a way. Pardon? There's one way I can finish him. No! He's already committed to the most heinous crimes to get his hands on that loot. So he's all he needs to do is find it first. A fine plan. Were it not for the fact that the police thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. If it's there at all, it must be very well hidden indeed. Without conclusive evidence, I certainly cannot rule. If only there was some way you could find the convict's loot quickly. No, Mr. Shakespeare! This is the final piece in this complex puzzle. But I think we might have it in a position already. Huh? Rather, I think we may well have something that can help us find where that loot is hidden. My lord. Yes, counsel. The defense would like to make a proposal about how to find the late convict's hidden loot. I believe we are in possession of something that can give us a clue as to its whereabouts. It's our last chance, so it has to be worth a gamble. Besides, we've used the same technique once already, and it definitely paid off then. What? Oh man, it's been a while since, so I forgot. Very well, counsel. Let the court hear your idea. What do you propose we could use in order to locate the hiding place of the deceased convict's hall? Oh, we're gonna do the handprint thing. I get it.
Take that!
If I'm not mistaken, those are Mr. Shakespeare's handprints on the wall of his lodgings. That's right, my lord. Exposed as a result of the defendant's independent investigation of the scene. Based on a wonderful new discovery in the field of forensic science by the great detective Mr. Sholmes. A great detective? Is that some kind of joke? Do you really think I'm gonna be daunted by a man with such a ridiculous title? I should think the great part out to recognize such a title in his one, Mr. Shakespeare. Oh, burn! Perhaps you should be with the honor of most ridiculous title. Ah! This Sherlock Sholmes himself!
What are you doing here, great detective? Your usual haunts are the filthy back streets of the capital, are they not?
Ah, Mr. Reaper, it's been too long. I see your complexion has worsened since we last met. Oh, burn! Mr. Sholmes. He does know Lord Van Zeekstein. Well enough to say something like that in any case. Mr. Sholmes. Though you may be heralded as a great detective by the population at large, that does not give you the right to come and go in my courtroom as you see fit. If I may, my lord, Mr. Sholmes' newly developed scientific method has helped us uncover vital clues in this case already. Clues, you say? I call them skin prints, my lord, also known as handprints. The method identifies every location touched by an individual under scrutiny. It's the method by which we were able to ascertain this gentleman's gas pipe activities. You need only a small sample of something that individual has previously touched to make an indicator solution. In your case, sir, I use the tea-bag you have been holding. Elementary. So now, Mr. Naruto. Yes? What am I using this sample to make an indicator solution this time? Thank you for offering your help, Mr. Sholmes. When the convict was arrested, he was living in what is now Suzuki-san's room. We need a sample to help locate someone's loot that's hidden in his own room. What form will the sample take? Present evidence or present a person? Wait, what with the cat? Oh, there's a cat in here. The cat is not in here. What evidence do we have? I've got a feeling that cat is important somehow. You know. Here I've got an idea. Well, first I'm gonna save here. Like I have an idea. I'm gonna present a person, and then present Mr. Saseki Natsume himself. Hopefully this will turn something up. We need something of Selden's in order to create an indicator solution to find his loot. And something that convict owned might happens to be in the possession of somebody listed in the courtroom record. Pardon my word, Mr. Naruto. Your powers of reason appear to be on the up. So, which particular person do you have in mind? From whom can we obtain a possession of the late convict Selden to create the indicator solution? Well, see, the way they word it makes it sound like we need to present Shakespeare. I'm gonna try Natsume first, because he was in the room. Same room. No, wait. No, wait. No, he was in the same room as Duncan Ross. Well, that's the thing. That's the room we're talking about that has the. Yeah, yeah, they all shared rooms. Never mind. Never mind. I'm being dumb. And what pray? This is a person possession that can be applicable for our purpose. Alright, I was wrong then. I had to try it. It's you need prove powers of reasoning at work, my dear fellow. Yeah, he's struggling. Timmy, your left eye just twitched. Are you currently concocting an elaborate excuse? That's some clever Japanese joke about wet noodle hope. Ah, you got me. What? That was an achievement? Okay. I'll take that. Oh, okay. The noodler. Where is that? I got a gold trophy for the noodler. That's amazing. I think we need to reconsider this from the start, Mr. Naruto. Why do I feel as though Susato-san is studying my left eye now? I'm ready and waiting, Mr. Naruto. The rest is in your hands. Okay, so it's locked me into the person, so I'm right about the person. Yeah, I'm gonna try Shakespeare.
Take that!
What? What? Crap. I'm at 1 HP. Okay, well. Oh. Dude, I'm an idiot. Okay, we're gonna try the key. We're gonna try to get Malv's key. Miss Green.
Me? What do you want with me?
The key around your neck, if you please.
Sorry.
Uh oh. The key belonged to Selden. There will be remnants of secretions from the man's skin on the surface that we can use. Very true. That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create the indicated solution required for Mr. Sholmes' skin print seeker. And find out exactly what someone touched in the room that he used to rent. Ah!
Mr. Shakespeare, as one grade to another, I assure you. The latest convict hall is hidden somewhere in his former lodgings. I shall come to it in no more than 30 minutes.
So, Mr. Shakespeare, the truth is well within our grasp now, and as such, you'll never get your hands on Selden's stolen wealth.
In that case, I'm gladly let Mr. Stubbs have this key. No! Give that key to me! Let's take the scent, have it!
It's over, Mr. Shakespeare.
No!
You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do. Admit your guilt.
Well... No shame for spear! This spear! Be thy name!
Oh gosh. Fireworks coming out of his butt. And Miss Green just flew away. Oh man, with the hat off, you really remind me of Florent LaBelle.
I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out of the room, that's all.
Sorry, I went to take a sip of my water. and it ended up going down the wrong end. I apologize for this awkward pause. We're almost done here, so I can recover here soon. So you have time to find the convict's hall of stone goods. Yeah, after you killed the young man, you still didn't move into your room.
I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused.
Why?
I was 3 months behind with the rent, for one thing.
Mr. Garrett really has had a lot to put up with.
And he had the gas repair work done immediately afterwards. But his room had an accident for a while. And then this Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign the new lease. Poor Mr. Natsumi, what unfortunate timing. Then, 5 days ago, after the incident on the Briar Road, when the Japanese pharaoh got himself arrested, I thought I'd finally earned my chance, but it wasn't to be.
No, the scene was sealed off and guarded by the police 9 days. Yeah, we did see him outside the building in that one case, and I was wondering what he was on about.
And if I remember rightly, Mr. Sholmes spent the whole day in there reading books.
Oh yeah, I forgot Sholmes was wasting time in that room.
I couldn't even enter the room, let alone search for the loot.
Which is why, on the day Mr. Natsumi was acquitted and returned to his room, he once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that feeds the stove into his room. Unbeknownst to you, however, the action would lead you into a deadly trap.
William Shakespeare? How does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question.
From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1.
Well, let me tell you in your case. It's not to be. That is the answer. It is time to die for what you've done.
I like how she has to have a box to stand on.
At first, I really did think it was just a terrible accident. I'll never forget that conversation the night. I'll never forget that conversation the night before Duncan died.
The gas supply in my new lodgings are a complete disaster, you know, Olive.
The gas supply? Yes, the stuff always seems to go out at the middle of the night for some reason. That's no joke. They say it's the convict's gas. Oh, Duncan, please don't stay there. I don't care how cheap it is. Alright then, if it's that important to you, I'll start looking for a new place. There are spare rooms in my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight?
No, I'd better not.
We said we'd wait until we graduated before we told our parents, remember?
Oh, it's great. It's one of these relationships.
But that was the last time we ever spoke. That very night, he fell victim to the gas. If only I had known it was going to happen. I'd insisted it left that horrible room in that instant. But instead, all I've been left with is bitter regret. I stopped going to school. But something kept throwing me in the back of the house on Briar.
Get it? Drawing you back into the house. Uh-huh. 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 Uh-huh.
I saw this stoop decent looking man with a mustache coming out of that house one day when I was there. He walked out to the scrubbery for some fruit, so I followed him. I sat myself down next to him. He's moderately looking stupid and started to pick a quarrel with the proposition.
The place is cursed, I tell you, cursed! I'm going to the comic, I guess I live there. It's dying, it's suffocating me! We came in the middle of the night. For reason, it didn't have the stuff is going out. The room is full of gas and I cannot hardly breathe. And the pipes have been checked. No problem there. It's like, what's the problem? That's what I was thinking.
But how could that be? That girl was gone in. Now this man had almost suffered the same fate. Considering it being a curse. Then I remembered. I remembered I'd heard about how the gas companies got around investigating the gas installations.
A rumor? Ah, you mean?
Yes, everybody's heard the stories it seems. But how they got around checking the pipes.
How anything connected to the gas can be extinguished by blowing air into the pipework.
That's when it started. A little flicker of dots in the back of my mind. I just wanted to get away. Was that really an accident though? Once I had to get it wouldn't leave me alone. It plagued me day and night. So I bought this at one of the black markets in the East End.
Black market?
I'd never been. I just heard people talk about them. And you could really just buy. And you
Jeez, man. I can't read.
And you can really just buy anything you can from there. It's so nice. Being able to get my hands on this so easily made me even more determined. I had to find out one way or another. Was Douglas death an accident? It wasn't murder.
Your chosen mission for establishing the truth was simple, but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe you suspected the man of tampering with, and wait.
If Mr. Shakespeare was innocent, nothing would come of what you'd done. But if he was guilty, he would pay for his crimes dearly.
I found out the name of the man I suspected. William Shakespeare. And then I wrote up this little note.
And we've already read the notes, so I'm not gonna repeat this.
If he'd done it, I knew that would worry him enough so that he'd be sure to go. So I waited to see if it would.
And of course, Mr. Shakespeare followed the instructions to the letter.
I worked out where the gas pipe was taken away. So I smeared a good amount of the poison I bought all along the mouth of the pipe. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done. That it would be all just... and that it was all just some wild fantasy. Actually, no. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done. And that the culprit would is just desserts.
"3 days ago, when you were first stood in the dock before me, this whole affair seemed relatively straightforward." "Yes, my lord." "I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that we should subsequently find lurking behind the scenes."
It has been a long road, my Nipponese friend.
"Oh, yes."
And one I certainly didn't envisage walking with you.
Nevertheless, together we have reached the light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. Miss Green,
Yes, my lord.
you will henceforth be stripped of your freedom, and as punishment for the attempted murder of Mr. William Shakespeare.
Yes and no.
And you, Mr. Shakespeare, you'll be tried for the murder of Mr. Duncan Ross in cold blood, and the subsequent attempted murder of Mr. Sasaki Natsume here present.
Mr. Naruto.
Yes?
Yesterday at the hospital, when you and your friend stopped me from
Ending your life by drinking what was left in the poisoned bottle?
I wasn't myself. I can't remember what was going through my mind. To be, and not to me, I suppose. That is a question so hard to answer, it seems.
And it's one reason why I absolutely love Hamlet. It's like one of my favorite stories, just in general. Well, personally, I'm glad of your being here, Mrs. Green. And you like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shakespeare didn't die when he ingested the poison. For your sake, at the very least. Oh no.
Because of you, I chose life, not death. And now, I made that truth come out the last. Really? I can't thank you enough.
Oh, Miss Green. Mr. Sasaki Natsume. Yes, my lord! The court declares that you are exonerated from all blame in this matter. Accordingly, I would call upon ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty. Jeez, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mute that time.
We are in full agreement, my lord.
In that case, I hereby declare the defendant. There you go. Woohoo! And just as I ran out my newly poured glass of water. Court's adjourned. About damn time I finished this case. Oh yes, yes, Ellis! Divine justice, duly done!
Divine justice? My dear fellows, if there were any divine justice in this world, you would shave that mustache.
No, this! It's not my mustache!
Some say a luxuriant mustache. It's a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Schultz.
Look at the Mr. Squire! Once again! You saved me! Pronto! Very happy to have been able to help Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your acquittal. You're second in almost as many days. I was also granted with and gained affection for the English literature whilst in a great homeland got fired. And then, by a twist of fate, I was brought to the land of that bore for the literature. Only I stayed bricks and mortar became my prison. Try them, I never found my fate here. In the end, I confined myself to my room and lived life through friendly old books.
You've had such a difficult time, haven't you? About a week ago now. I dragged you out of that dark and dingy room of yours, did I not?
You did. And I've seen more of life in this week than all my years of today. And for the first time, I feel I've begun to see the true face of English of the English that's been so far hiding. That's so far been hiding from me behind a wall fog.
My dear fellow, there's nothing special about the true face of the English, as you put it. Wheresoever one goes in the world, humans are human. There are few genuine differences.
Yes, I think you're right. I finally started to see that, and I've got to understand something. I worked out why I was so attracted to English literature in the first place.
You see,
That whatever our nationality, we humans have the same hopes and fears. We all just do our best to live. Well said. I've come to feel the same way. I made a decision too. I'm gonna come shut my story through here. What's your name? What?
Just when we'd become friends here in England. What a terrible shame.
Oh, I know. That does touch my heart, my heartstrings. It really does. But I've decided I'd like to take everything I learned here and write something of my own. Novel sorts, I suppose.
Oh my. So you've been creating your own literature, Mr. Natsume? How wonderful.
Oh, well, no, I mean, however, certain literature.
Why not? When that is precisely the definition of such.
I suppose you're right, yes. It will, in a way, be literature. But as I know, all I know is I like to turn my hand at writing. I no delusion to the grander.
I, for one, would love to read your work. Well, all things considered, maybe for the best. After all, you have once again emerged victorious from a battle with the Reaper.
Ah! Oh wait, that's me. Ah, that's very true.
And there's no salvation for a person in the dark when the Reaper is the prosecutor. The desire to return protest with the perceived safety of your hamlet is what I can understand. My goodness, yes! Peace was such a terrifying prospect. Nobody would consider that cowardly, I was quite sure.
But that's not why I'm leaving! I mean it! Objection! And that was the case we found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago now. Sasaki-san did indeed return to Japan and submit a report about both cases to the government. It was on reading that report that Professor Mikotoba was prompted to visit the scholar. Barely any time later, Susato-san was given the news that she must return to Japan as well, on the back of a telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happened after the trial on the following day. The day that we uncovered the loot hidden by the now deceased convict of his former lodgings. Back here again. Lucky Cat's still here. I mean, I guess he's still, like, packing up.
Oh, well done, Mr. Jones. How simply marvelous of you to uncover the secret hiding place in just one day.
Was it supposed to take 30 minutes?
As I believe I told you, my dear fellows, skin prints are extremely useful in such situations. Would you agree, Mr. Gregson?
I'm not sure he agrees.
Greggy's been happily munching in agreement this whole time, you know, Hurley.
Happily, I think perhaps humorless might be closer to the truth. So, it transpired that the man fashioned a hiding place in the ceiling.
The ceiling. Okay, I guess that makes sense. And what's it? What exactly is the loot?
Let's look then if you're ready. Let's examine the late burglar's hall.
What the? What is that? Oh, that's pretty. Oh, there's blood on it.
It looks to be some sort of neckband or collar.
Collar? It's huge though.
And look at all the gemstones set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth £1,000. Perhaps I could have it as a belt.
Oh, have you noticed on the inside there? There are some dark stains.
You don't think there could be blood, do you? There's quite a lot of it. Yeah, that's totally bloody.
On second thoughts, perhaps I would have it the belt.
Then of course, there's this emblem here. Large letter B and a small crown.
I guess that is a B. Like one of those, like, fancy old English B's that you would start a letter with. Yeah, like what does it signify, do you think?
Oh, I hadn't noticed that.
Hold on. B. There we go.
I feel as though I've seen the M somewhere before. You know, where could I have been?
Wait, what? That's enough of that, I think. What? What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes? Oh crap, he noticed. All the color has drained from his face. Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this, aren't you? It could be valuable evidence after all. It must be kept safely under lock and key.
Oh, yes. Get your grubby hands off that, you lie, and hand it over now.
Holy crap, what is that? Never seen a color that large before. Well, jewels certainly look to be extremely valuable. But that's not what stood out the most to me. At least not once I noticed that. Those dark marks on the inside of the collar. Those stains. Could they really have been blood?
Well, that's a funny case, wasn't it? But it's all buttoned up now.
You look very pleased, Iris.
I am, because I was starting to wonder if I can use I was starting to wonder what I could use as the basis of this month's story in the magazine. But this case would be perfect. It's been so fascinating.
Talk about the latest installment of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I presume.
Mystery of the Knife and the Mist, and the Mustache Man and the Convict's Curse, perhaps. I can make it a two-part story.
Oh, I can't wait. A word, please, Iris.
Yes, what is it, Hurley?
I'm sorry, but you can't write about this case. It's out of the question.
What? Why not? It's a great case.
Then I should insist that you limit yourself to the first of the two titles. The second must never be written. Is that clear?
Yes.
What is going
And so
on?
it was that the second of Soseki-san's cases became buried in obscurity. Now, looking back, I feel I understand. I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story. It would take a little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen. For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again, with an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
Oh, we're going back. We're talking about the Great Exhibition. Interesting. Also voice acting? What? This is the first time we've had voice acting during the events of this case. Or in the events of either of these games. Except, of course, during the cutscenes. Alright, well, that was case 2. Next time we start case 3. The Return of the Great Departed Soul. Alright. Thank you for tuning into the VOD if you do. Sorry once again for my lackluster voice. And I'm blaming it on the May fever once again, and like also getting partially sick on Monday. And I will see you all next time. Actually, you know what? I can probably raid Vix. Last raid Vix Terity. Yeah, yeah, I'll do a one-man raid just myself. See you guys next time. Bye bye.